Let us discuss the clarifications or any questions on the discrete Fourier series. Sharing the screen now. Right. So you're able. Hope you are able to see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So I think I will not go through fully anyway, but I will very briefly, quickly go through. So similar to defining the continuous time Fourier transform for for periodic continuous time signals. Sorry, similar to defining the continuous time Fourier series for periodic continuous time signals. Okay, in similar lines with this, okay, we can also define discrete Fourier series, okay, for discrete periodic signals. Only difference being the complex exponentials now are periodic, both in time and frequency. Okay, and hence in here they are periodic only in time, not in frequency. And hence the frequency quotient span from -infinity to infinity, and complex exponentials that we use for each k is different. Okay, but it's not like this here. For different case, for only there are, if there are n samples or in a period, there are only n distinct complex exponentials of this nature, or complex exponential basis functions. Okay, and using them we can reconstruct the using the corresponding projections, we can reconstruct back the periodic signal, samples of the periodic signal. Okay, and then we have seen examples of applying discrete Fourier series for some of the classical signals and sequences. Okay, so we have seen actually mathematically that defining like this will enable us to get the x tilde of n, okay, by taking the right hand side. And we have seen for a delta function especially, the sequence x tilde of k is 1, that is 1 for all 0 to n, -1, right? Similarly, we also have seen with a square pulse or a sequence with like looking like a square pulse, and we have its discrete Fourier series is computed and to be seen as a discrete sync. We posed at that point of time, will these x tilde of k can be considered as samples of x of e power j omega at regular intervals 2 pi by n into k. And then we deferred this discussion to later time, and we discussed a few more properties of discrete Fourier series, especially when we want to discuss the like any variations to the time domain signal, periodic discrete signal like shifting and any other operations. We need to look at across the whole signal, and it is periodic. However, to like optimally look at it, the same thing repeats in a period, repeats again and again, and hence we need not look at the whole signal. It is enough to look at the 0 to 9 or the one period of the discrete periodic signal. In fact, that itself is what is done in discrete Fourier transform. When we want to find frequency components as well, it is not necessary to look at the whole thing. Okay, and you can look at as a periodic signal of length capital N and use the similar operations that we will discuss in subsequent lectures. Okay, and when we do a shifting operation, what will happen is the periodic signal shifts. It is as if it is, since it is a periodic signal and it repeats again and again, okay, on like a circle. So x of 0 is here, okay, x of 1, x of 2, and so on, and x of n minus 1, and x of n is exactly same as x of 0, okay, and so on. X of n plus 1 is exactly same as x of 1, and so on. Okay, so and you can look at it as a circular shift rather than a periodic shift. You can look in both ways to understand the signal, and especially sequence, if you want to look at only 0 to 9, then you can look more as a circular shift. Okay, that's what has happened. So if you see here, 2 times if you want to advance, okay, I made a circular shift, and this has come here, okay, these two has come here, and so on. Okay, exactly like this. And if you do that, then the property of DFS, what it says is if you shift in time domain, okay, you can see through basic expression that it is the complex exponential signal gets in frequency domain gets multiplied with x tilde of k. Okay, so the here you can, if you want to look at only one period, then you should have a modulo n operation here, so that you can have only this 0 to 9 samples in hand at any time. So when in fact when you keep tilde, there is no need of keeping this modulo n, and when you keep modulo n, there is no need of keeping this tilde. Later discussions, I will say that if you have tilde, it is DFS or a periodic signal. If you don't have tilde, it is a aperiodic sequence. Okay, and what you apply here is discrete Fourier transform. Okay, so tilde, like if you have this modulo n operation, discrete Fourier transform will come. If you have tilde, discrete Fourier series will come. Okay, so we consider it as periodic if you have tilde. If you don't have it, we assume that it circularly shifts. Okay, so that we will bring in more elegantly when we discuss the discrete Fourier transform. But however, now you can also understand that this modulo n operation is now to compactly have the tackle the periodic or the shift of this periodic signal. Okay, in the same time window, or yeah, in the same period. Similarly, we have seen the other properties like multiplying with complex exponential, discrete complex exponential in time domain leads to shifting in frequency domain. And this shift, if you consider it as periodic sequence of frequency in frequency domain, then there is a shift like this or like this. But however, if you consider only one period, again modulo n will come. Okay, even in frequency domain. So then we have seen a special property which can be very explicit here. If you want to represent the if computing time domain to frequency domain may be easier in some cases, or frequency domain to time domain may be easier in some other cases. Okay, if you give to time domain is easier. If I give like this, here also you can't see that time domain to frequency domain is difficult or frequency domain to time domain is easier. And hence what this duality property does is it tries to represent the time domain analysis equation, okay, roughly similar to the synthesis equation with small change of variables. And hence you can write x tilde of n as like this as frequency domain information, okay, can be transferred to time domain, okay, and the time domain information can be transferred to, or the sequence can be transferred to frequency domain, and you can relate them like this. That means initially you analyzed x of n and like this, that is sequence like we analyzed before, and you have found its Fourier transform. Now